Alright guys, Ryan aka For the Blood God here again. We are doing the replay commentary of Vengeful Spirit that I promised. I am playing with Kung Fu Rooster and Drizzle, two guys I play with fairly often. They are playing... Kung Fu Rooster is on the Slardar and Drizzle's on the Witch Doctor. I'm on the Vengeful Spirit, and then our two randoms, we have a Queen of Pain mid, who I'm really happy with, and a Juggernaut, who is a good, quick activating carry. On the other team, we have a Troll, who can definitely be very scary late game. We have a Ricky, who can be scary early to mid game, depending on how well he does. Ember Spirit is another one that's really good if you can get him some items. And then they have two really good AoE supports. So if they play this right, this can be a really scary team. As you can see, I went back to go ahead and get a block off for the Juggernaut, who was a little bit late running back to lane. He was able to fix the slight mistake that I made with the block, so we were able to get an even better one. Not quite as important on the safe lane, but it's still nice to do. As you can see, I got the ward, the courier, and then I went ahead and just got a couple of GG branches with a tango and a clarity. Let's see what everybody else is rocking. Boots first, with no stat items. Usually not a route I like to go. But he does have bash and a nice stun, so it might pay off for him if he plays really defensively and well. Witch Doctor, pretty alright build. You can see he's getting himself ready for Tranquil Boots later while also having some mana regen. He can heal them too, so the salve isn't necessarily a huge deal if he takes Voodoo Resto next, or Resto. Juggernaut, quick poor man shield with a tango. I probably would have gotten one less piece of this and taken a salve as well, just in case, but he does have the healing ward he can take early if he wants to. You can see here he's taken some heavy damage. I have to turn around and throw a stun on the Ricky to help make sure that he's able to get out of there with no problems. The stun happens, he turns around, which scares the crap out of me, but we're able to do enough damage quickly that it scares the Ricky out of wanting to stay any longer. First blood in the mid lane goes to Queen of Pain, who kills the Troll. I would not have put Troll mid lane. I would have put him in the safe lane, and I would have either put Ember Spirit or Magnus in mid. Probably... I mean, Ember Spirit has a way to slow down magical damage, which is nice. Magnus has a better harass in the Shockwave. So either one of those, I feel, would have been a better option than Troll. Instead, they have Magnus farming the safe lane, which definitely should have... Personally, I would have put Sand King Troll top, I would have put Ember mid, and I would have put Magnus Ricky bottom. Yeah. That way Troll has a stun and can take advantage of his attack speed, buff a little bit, maybe try to get off of bash of his own. The bottom lane isn't going to necessarily net a whole lot of kills unless he can get some nice shockwaves off, but I feel it would have been better than this setup that they're running right now. Alright, let's get back to what we're doing down here. As you can see, I've set up another ward. I bought it a little bit later, but I did still go ahead and get it. We also have a flying courier. So as you can see, my lane is still doing good. I don't have a whole lot of beef items for myself yet, but our team knows... Like, at least as far as the safe lane is concerned, we know where the enemies are. We just got another kill on Sand King, which is beautiful for us. Ricky showed himself to take a couple of hits. But, as you can see, so we got the Flying Courier. Mid should have no complaints whatsoever. She can see one rune. We know someone's creeping into the trees to try to mess with us. The only lane that's still got a little bit of a risky thing is top lane, and Witch Doctor could easily grab a ward if he wants to. But they seem to be doing alright up there. There's a fight going on the tower. Rooster was able to get a stun off, possibly a bash as well. I missed the first half of that, but I can tell you just from what I saw on the mini-map that Ember Spirit had way overstepped his boundaries. I'm assuming he was trying to pick off the Witch Doctor, who clearly got away. You never really want to dive under tower, guys, unless you're 100% positive that it's going to net you something. Now, you can see I went for boots, and as soon as I got my boots, I went ahead and I queued up sentry wards, because we are dealing with a Ricky, and we're going to want to get some kills on him. Now, the wards are going to set me back on my items, but what it's also going to do is it's going to give us kills, which is more money for us, so that I can get extra gold from that. He's doing a ton of damage to the Sand King and the Ricky right there, forcing them both to scatter. I'm going to try to get a stun off on the Ricky because it could be a kill, but he has just enough time to get invis and get out of there. Sand King is tanking creeps again. That's one thing you gotta be careful about, guys. Early game, those creeps do a ton of damage, and you can't be tanking damage for no reason. The tower hits I'm gonna take here were unnecessary even, but I was kind of hoping that the Sand King was gonna be even dumber than he actually was, which sometimes pays off and sometimes gets you killed and costs you dearly, which is unfortunate. You're gonna see I'm gonna do some damage on him here. I probably should have held that stun and waited for later, save myself the mana, but at the same time it harassed him down to about a third health, made sure he wasn't going to be threatening the Juggernaut anytime too soon. Alright, I've gotten the wards, now I'm going to go ahead and work on a wand. I can't stress enough how important wands are on support heroes, guys. It can give you the mana you need for that clutch stun. It can also save your life in a sticky situation. It doesn't always, but it can, and it can do it a lot. As you can see, I just saw the thing go down. We know where Ricky is. I throw down the ward so that we can get a couple hits on him. He was still visible, though, so he doesn't now he knows that there's a ward, or should know that there's a ward. And also, guys, one thing, I play stealth heroes every once in a while, most notably the Bounty Hunter. I'm not a huge Ricky fan. I do like what they changed about him now. If you haven't seen the latest patch, they gave him an ability called Tricks of the Trade, which is really fun if you have a setup. Especially a teammate like Magnus would make that work beautifully. But one thing that you have to do as an invisible hero, guys, is you have to check your opponents for detection. Some games, they're going to be dumb and they're not going to buy detection, and you're going to steamroll the crap out of them, and it's going to make you too confident. In some games, they're going to buy detection and they're going to shut you down. You really have to know who can see you and where they can see you. And if you do start getting attacked unexpectedly without seeing a dust, you know it's a ward. And if they have a ward, you need to try to figure out where it is, and even if you're not going to de-ward it, you need to at least avoid it so that you're not going to get jumped on. As you can see here, I'm getting a little bit of extra farm. Luckily, he decided to sandstorm directly on top of the ward, which let us get a ton of damage off. It probably could have been a kill if there had been a little bit more communication between me and the Juggernaut, but we do force him to run all the way back to base. And at this early in the game, that's almost as crippling as being straight up killed. You don't lose the money, but you lose tons of money and experience by not being in your lane. And for a Sand King who wants his level 6, it's going to hurt. As you can see, Troll has shifted over from mid to help bottom. I was able to get out of there. Jug is on his way back, so we're not going to have... it looks like we're probably going to lose one creep wave of experience going in the way of Troll Warlord, who probably going to push the tower here a little bit. And he has his ult because he was mid, but luckily we had a fortify ready, so that we actually got him to waste his ult, but luckily for him it's a pretty low cooldown. Here you can see me, I'm checking out top, trying to decide if they need my help, but the two of them have been doing really good for themselves. As you can see, they each have 2 kills. Our mid has 2 kills. We only have 1 kill for our lane, but the Juggernaut has been getting really good farm. It's only 8 minutes. He has Poor Man's Shield, Phase Boots. He's working on a Yasha. Our Queen of Pain has her bottle, Null Talisman Boots. She's doing really good. Witch Doctor has his boots and a ring, which isn't bad. You can see he's saving up to get his Ags. Drizzle oftentimes will kind of do more of a carry type Witch Doctor. He likes to get the Ags and just do heavy damage with that.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I remember Rooster actually rushes a Heart this game. It works out for him, but I definitely wouldn't do that first. He's becomes squishier if he's using Sprint, so he has to be careful about that. I mean, the Heart does give him damage and extra health, but I probably would have gotten at least one armor item before I went that route. That way you can take more advantage of the mass health that you're getting. Here he did a really good juke. He sprints through the front of the creep wave through the trees, gets himself far away. He went a little bit too far, which allows them to wrap around, but the Witch Doctor is here to back him up. We should see a cask. Ricky's there, which makes it rough. The reverse polarity comes out and they get a kill. Nothing really that Witch Doctor could do there. He still has not quite gotten his ult yet, which is the downfall there. If he had his ult, that might have gone way differently, because then he could have done Maledict Cask and then the Death Ward. But luckily we didn't lose him as well, and he was able to steal the double damage rune so that their team wasn't able to use that. Top lane, you can see that we are still just getting the Juggernaut as much farm as we humanly can. He now has his Blade of Alacrity on the way, which is going to give him a nice damage boost, especially if he can pull off a Blade Dance here and there. This might be where we take bottom tower. It would be nice if we could start pushing towers down now. 11-minute point, and we're ahead. This is really the point where you want to cement that lead. I still have a Sentry Ward waiting for Ricky to show back up. He does show back up here. I don't think I can save. Yeah, I'm not able to save the. Not able to save him, but I am able to stun the Ricky and escape. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit by the Burrow Strike. I did avoid the Burrow Strike, but it wasn't enough to get away. To remind you guys, this is when Blink Strike was still charges. So I think it was. It's not gonna say. It was either 3 or 4. So there wasn't anything I was going to be able to do there, but, and I actually probably wasted the ward. I was hoping I could escape, but it'll be okay. As you can see, I have re-upped the ward watching the rune, but we could do for a couple runes right now. I do kind of get a little greedy for a minute and finish up my Tranquil Boots, given the level of harass that I'm trying to pull off. But you will see later that I re-clear out the wards and keep them cleared out pretty much the whole game. Ricky's able to snag a Queen of Pain kill mid with the help of Magnus, who forced her under tower. That's one thing that's kind of rough, guys, that you got to be careful about, is those skewers, especially in mid. If you're too close to their tower, he'll put you right in danger real quick. The Sand King was able to get the regeneration rune. You can see I have swap now, so we're going to be looking for swaps and stuns from this point forward. I'm trying to hang out near the rune in case Ricky shows up, but I'm also close enough that I can swap out Juggernaut if I need to. And that's one thing to remember, guys. Swap is not just for catching out-of-place enemies, it's for saving out-of-place teammates as well. Juggernaut is our hard carry this game. He is our guy that we're trying to get farmed. If he gets jumped by a bunch of people, regardless of whether or not he's playing poorly, if I can save him, that's my job. Here you can see me picking up the runes, or picking up some wards. I haven't actually finished the Tranquil Boots first, so good on me. I really thought that I had finished those first, so I'm proud to see that. That's one thing that you really got to do, guys, is one thing that keeps your team ahead is knowing when they're trying to gank you and being able to avoid it. Because any time that you can get them to waste their time, you're coming ahead. Now, Juggernaut looks safe right now for the minute, given that I'm seeing a bunch of people show up top. So I started moving top to try to maybe help out up there. I've got wards on their way. I'm just going to wait for them and drop them as quickly as I can. Right now, Ricky's the only invis guy. I still should get more detection, but so far, Ricky, I mean, he's 3-1. He's definitely not doing terribly, but at the same time, he's not having as much of an impact as he could have. I'll put it that way. Sentries probably would have been a good pick, or at least a dust, but at the same time, having this extra vision of where everybody else is can help us kind of predict where Ricky is. And luckily, none of our guys that are squishy have been sticking by themselves for too long, so he's not getting those pickoffs. Now, as you can see, we see the green guy heading top, so while we don't know Ricky's here, we do know that people are heading top, and we are prepared for it. We're trying to play safely, keep the creep equilibrium on our side. Here we're going to try to get a second tower.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures.
And it looks like we're going to have it no problem. We fortified our towers to keep bottom safe, which forced Magnus to go steal a creep wave. Bottom tower's taking damage, but Juggernaut had time to react thanks to the fortification. He's going to drag those creeps off. Magnus is busy farming at our camp. Juggernaut moves in. Let's check this out. It's probably an ult. Yep. Magnus pulls off a surprisingly good play there. It's not enough to save him, but he did manage to catch him right off the back of the Blade Fury. I think he was actually hoping to miss so that he could just get some distance away, but at the same time, he was able to get some damage off. I'm heading back to heal. You can see I have observers and sentry wards queued up. I only have one observer ward because there's only one, that was the only one left to buy. They are currently out of stock. Probably will be for another minute or two. You can see now that I have my tranquil boots, I have some nice out of battle regen so that I can stick around to see how my teammates are faring. One thing you'll see me do a lot, especially once I get the urn, I like to throw out a bunch of Wave of Terrors even if you're not doing anything with it, because oftentimes in pubs it's enough to scare off people that aren't paying enough attention. Now, let's check and see if they have any wards. They do not have wards. If they had wards on the typical rune spots, they would know where at least 3 of our heroes were, and they would have known that I was just bluffing. But luckily I was able to push them off the tower, get some more guys in there. Now, thanks to my ward, we see that Troll is by himself, so I'm going to head in with the Queen of Pain. He starts trying to flee, so we're going to swap him. Then we're going to throw the stun. And that's an easy kill. That's about as easy as it gets, guys. And all because we had some nice runes. Bottom tower is being pushed by Sand King. One of these people top, possibly me. I've been helping get kills and throw up wards, though. So I would say probably Drizzle or Rooster should be bottom farming and protecting this tower. Juggernaut is sitting mid. He's kind of dangerous because Ricky's there, but he didn't know that. Now he knows I'm here. I dropped the ward just in time to catch Ricky. Ricky sees Jug moving around and decides to try to get the stop, or tries to flee from him. Right back into the ward, giving us an easy kill. I dropped a second ward, which was very wasteful. I wasn't 100% sure how. I honestly didn't expect him to drop the Blade Fury, and I had already clicked and let it happen by the time that he did. So that was a misplay. It could have saved myself 100 gold right there. But all things considered, it's not in the worst spot, given kind of where the creep equilibrium has been. Plus, Ricky does tend to move through the middle of the map a lot. We do now have at least a couple of sentry wards that people can try to catch him in. I should buy more soon. Now that I've finished my urn, you're going to see me go for a Blink Dagger. With the newest patch, the Ags upgrade is really, really good, but at the same time, the Blink is just kind of a classic. It really helps out her skill set of getting in there and dropping in some stuns. We're going to move over here to help not only watch Juggernaut's back since he's kind of moving into enemy territory alone, but also help push this creep wave. Now he's backing off to go farm. We're going to go ahead and try to pressure this tower a little bit. Just 10 minutes. Just give me 10 minutes. Not bad. Threw in a wave of terror to get some extra damage in on these creeps, keep the wave pushed up. Sand King's moving in, which to me He's been playing really scared this whole game, so that was an indicator to me right there that their team was moving in and I had stayed too long. Risky fight. Slardar comes in with a really good stun. The reverse polarity misses everybody, so that's a wasted cooldown of 120 seconds, 125 seconds. You can see I managed to get them to chase me. I was able to bait them far enough that everybody was able to regroup down here, and now we are just starting to mop up everybody that's still here. Ricky obviously was able to escape with his invis, but luckily we've got really good chasers right now. Looks like we're about to get a Sand King. Yep, there goes the dagger. That's gonna be a dead Sand King. She throws the ulti anyway. Not taking any chances. Funny enough, she almost caught Ricky with that, which would have been hilarious. Probably not quite enough to kill him, but it still would have been a fun time. He got off a fun blade Omni Slash there, but he doesn't have quite enough hits, which just a level 2 to insta kill Ricky. Death Ward comes out in an amazing time, forces back to Magnus, and grants us a kill on the carry, who teleported to this tower. That was a mistake, guys. He should have come back. He should have teleported to the tier 3 and then walked down if he wanted to come down. Realistically, they probably should have just given us that tower and regrouped at the tier 3, given how badly it was already going for them. Now you're going to see, instead of hanging around too long, we're going to start shifting over. Slardar's going to stay there for a minute, and probably until he sees how many people are there. Yep, there he goes. I'm going to move mid. I know I've got a sentry ward here. Try to stay kind of close to it while we're farming these creeps. It's not going to last forever, but it does give us a second's warning for the next 10 seconds. Try to take out the last tier 2, which will grant us undisputed control of the map. Once they're out of tier 2s, like the town portal scrolls, all it really does is get you back to base. There's no... it doesn't get you around anywhere. I have been warding. I do need to get some wards now, which you can see in the stash. I need to call the courier, but I do know we're in the middle of about to do something, so I was holding off on that, not wanting to get too risky with our courier. But with us having wards the whole game, and they should know by now that we've had wards the whole game, once we get this tower, they can't really afford to leave their base. If they go to the jungle, we're going to show up. We can roast pretty much anytime we want to. Sand King and Ember are trying to pull us off in the mid tower by pushing bot. You're going to see me head down there. I teleport to the tower, which was kind of a dumb move since I don't know where Ricky is. But I was able to get a wave of terror off, which pulls the creeps back and also scares those two off, even though they probably should have felt comfortable diving on me there. We're going to go back to the fight mid. Oh. Some back and forth. Nobody died there. Just kind of a couple trading of hits. Their team is really scared at this point because we are so far ahead. 20-6 is not a bad lead. They definitely have amazing team fight, and if Sand King would stop pushing bottom and help them if he would have stopped earlier, they probably could have turned that team fight mid really heavy in their favor. As you can see, Magnus just got himself a blink dagger, which is going to help him with his initiation. Sand King is working on a black blink dagger, I feel. He could have skipped the blade mail and had one. And really, he's not getting focused either, so I don't know why he would have bought that. Maybe the damage in the armor, I guess? I don't know. Like, it's a good choice on some people, but I don't feel it's a good choice on him, given that his whole plan is to burrow in with an epicenter and then go invis so that nobody can screw with him while it goes off. You can see here, I'm going to get a solo kill here on the Warlord. He stops to man fight me, which was a mistake, but he probably wasn't going to get away anyway. I had another stun in half a second, even if his lifesteal had been enough. I also had an urn charge I could use. They're all moving top. It's going to cost me my life, but to keep their hard carry locked down... Oh, actually, oh, yeah. Almost got away there. But trading like that, I mean, he is super far behind, but at the same time, keeping him far behind is what's keeping us in the lead. The fact that he hasn't been able to farm and that he has died 9 times is the reason that we're able to start pushing barracks and shit now. You can see we're going back in for that middle tower. I won't be respawning for another 20 seconds, but that's no reason that they shouldn't go in. It's been nothing but successful so far. Shockwave whiffs. Everybody's backing up, which is smart. They've seen the Ricky cloud. It's time to back up for a second. You're going to see me teleport. Oh, I can't teleport in. My TP's on cooldown, but I do have not only 2 dusts that I bought, but also a sentry ward. Let's see if Ricky has a diffusal. Ricky does not have a diffusal. Guys, diffusal blade is pretty necessary on him, because if you get dusted, the only way to escape and to get out of it alive is either to blink strike to a friendly creep, which may or may not be there, or to diffuse the dust off yourself. He was spotted. I don't know if we're going to get him here. Yep, there we go with the dust, and this should be an easy kill now. He got a couple jukes through the trees, but we were able to get an amplified damage. Now there's no running even if he did it. Well, I don't know if diffusal blade takes off amplified damage. I'll have to test that and get back to you guys. As you can see, the Sand King ult was almost completely wasted because his Blink Dagger is sitting in his stash and not helping him get into the center of the guys immediately. So he sat there and wasted 2 pulses on walking to 1 target, and then another pulse or 2 on a single target, while only 1, maybe 2 hitting 2 people. That's not what you want with Sand King, especially since he had a Blink Dagger. He should have called the courier and told his teammates to wait, because they could have easily given up that tower and been ready for us at this tier 3. Because we didn't even wait for the creeps really there. We just kind of stormed up high ground. I mean, we knew they were all dead, but realistically, what they could have done is waited for us right here. As soon as we start making high ground, Magnus blinks in, pops reverse polarity, he channels his ulti, blinks in, hurts all of us, then the skewer pushes us all further into the base. We get a sleight of hand, a troll ult, and maybe a smoke cloud from Ricky, and that's a wipe team for us, even with our advantage. And that was really their downfall of this game, was not utilizing what they had. And now see, check this out. I've got a Blink Dagger at the same time as Sand King, and I bought wards, I bought the courier, I had everything upgraded at every possible moment that I could. Blink Dagger is going to really finish up my build. The only thing I would really go for from here, given that we're already so far ahead, the cooldown from Ags isn't going to be a big bonus. Now with the new Ags and getting to have the shadow of yourself, that will always come after Blink from now on, unless I need a utility item, like let's say a halberd if our strength heroes aren't buying it for some reason, or maybe a Ghost Scepter if I'm just dying every single time in like 2 hits, you know, just so I can get a spell off in the fights. But for the most part, my build from now on is going to be Tranquil Boots, Urn of Shadows, Blink Dagger, Ags. But this was before that patch, so instead of an Ags at this point, I probably would have gone with maybe a Yasha, or if I really felt we were far enough ahead, a Butterfly. That way I can get myself a little bit more damage, get myself a little bit more armor, maybe some move speed if it was the Yasha, some evasion if it's the Butterfly. As you can see, I'm still keeping the wards out of stock. I dropped a sentry ward here just because I didn't know where Ricky was, and we were kind of doing some activity here. I was trying to get some wards up. And now I was also trying to clear up my inventory for the Blink Dagger, because I want to keep TP scrolls in case I'm needed at a tower. I have the dust, and I know he doesn't have a diffusal blade, so the dust is always going to be enough. I don't need the sentries at this point. So, knowing that we have, I've got wards up. The jungle wards I probably should have put closer to the base, but me and Jug were over there a little bit exposed. These guys have been playing a little bit weird. It wouldn't have surprised me if they were all kind of trying to come gank us over there. as you can see, I've got some more wards ready in the stash, as well as some more dusts in case I clear out something. At this point, I'm probably also safe selling the wand, so probably next time I go to base, you'll see me sell the wand and pick up the wards. At this point, Magnus quits. It's pretty clear that this game is ours. And really, it came down to supporting guys. They had two people that are kind of supports. Their Magnus was safe lane farming for a reason I will never understand. He either should have been mid or should have been buying wards since nobody else was. Sand King, for not buying wards, should have had his Blink Dagger way faster than he did, which would have made a big difference, guys. If he could have had the Blink Dagger 5-10 minutes earlier instead of this Blade Mail, he would have gotten the kills to afford this Blade Mail off of the Blink Dagger. Now he's stuck with just this and dying repeatedly.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
We'll look at the endgame item builds. Like I said, Slardar rushing the heart. It gave him a lot of health, made him really tanky, which ended up working out really well in his favor. I feel like he might have been able to get a couple more items, or at least that's what I would have done. This worked out well for him, so I'm not going to say anything bad, but at the same time, I would have played it a little bit differently. Witch Doctor has some great items here. Instead of the Shadow Blade, I probably would have gotten the, I think it's the Mantle. I can't look at the items right now. The one that lets you channel while invis. That way he could feel safer doing his ult instead of relying on our stuns. And yeah, that's going to be the end of this one, guys. We're going to pummel this tower. Two of them are dead. The last guy's disconnected. There's no coming back from this. Thanks for watching, though, guys. It's been a fun one, and have a good day.